I can hear something. Okay. I don't know what I'm hearing. Is it mine? No. Hey, can you turn that TV down just a little, please?
Welcome back to OK Sydney, here with Dad, no longer by myself, of course, okay? Today we're just going to be talking about, I guess, fears that dads have with a teenager, since Dad's a dad with a teenager.
Yeah, I am a dad with a teenager.
Okay.
And I have major fears as a dad raising a teenage girl. It would be different if I had a teenage boy.
No, it would not.
I'd have different fears. I'd have fears, but they'd be a lot different. But raising a girl, oh my goodness, is very challenging at times because your emotions are like all over the place. Do you feel that way? Do you feel like you're really emotional?
Yes. I wish there was a training for parents to know how to handle that without screaming over
I don't scream.
Yeah, okay.
I don't scream.
Next.
You've heard me scream.
Yes.
Ooh. That's a false narrative. I don't scream. But I'm amazed though. Like I am amazed at just like the emotional swings.
Okay, I'm sorry that I'm a
females.
female that has periods. That's what it comes with.
Well, that's like a monthly cycle. You think that's the only time that you're having emotional swings?
You have emotional swings?
I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually that's when they're full blast.
Full blast. Yep, that's true. But anyway, let's get back to the topic. Dad fears of raising a female teenager. And so I've ran into this list, and I haven't even looked at the list. I wanted to know if this is accurate for both me and you. So okay. The first one says, I fear that you would get a broken heart.
Oh, boo-hoo. I don't even fear that. You shouldn't either.
You don't fear a broken heart?
Nope. Get over it.
Oh, man. that is the words of someone that's never had their heart broken.
I have had my heart broken.
No, you have not.
You don't know. I don't tell you much is done.
Oh, yeah. I would know. You wouldn't have to tell me. If you had your heart broken, you'd be crushed. You'd be just like melted down shell of yourself.
Oh.
And that's never happened to you. So that is a fear of mine. That's a good one.
Okay.
That is a good one.
I don't know why you should be so scared of that.
Why? I fear that for you because I know it's coming. And it's
you
part
do
of life.
not
It's part of
say
life.
that.
It's part of life.
I'm not even talking to no.
It's part of life. Right?
It's coming, geez.
You love, and then you get your heart broken, and then it's just your world has stopped.
All right.
Right? So that's for a teenager. That's a good one. Let's see. A fear of spoiling her too much.
I feel like I'm a little bit too old for that one.
Really? You don't think you're spoiled now?
I do, but I don't think you're overdoing it. I feel like I would know if you were overdoing it.
Yeah. I think in terms of being the father, I fear that I may be spoiling you, and that gives you this false idea of what the world is like.
Right. I think no, I disagree.
Yeah, no, because I think you're grounded in reality. So you've been spoiled, and you continue to be spoiled, but I don't think it's to the point where it's
taken over.
Yeah, and it kind of skews your view of reality. But that's a pretty good fear. I don't agree with that one. A fear of seeing her disappointed.
Don't understand.
Well, it's like, you look at me as a father and you have these expectations, and then something happens and I disappoint you, and I know that you're feeling disappointed. Yeah,
I can't really tell if I ever felt that before, really.
Yeah, I mean, which is good.
I can't tell. Maybe
Yeah.
I don't really.
So I don't know if I have that fear, But if it ever happened, I'd be very sad if you were disappointed in me. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's pretty good. Knowing there are predators out there. Now that
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
If that's a shared fear.
That is a fear. That's a fear for you, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
yeah, because man, it's like there are real predators out there.
Really though.
Predators. And I watch a lot of nature videos.
Right.
So I know how
see them
predators
having predators.
and prey. And it's like predators are ruthless. And I know
they don't care.
No, they don't. And I know they're out there. I know that, they see young teenage females and they're like, oh man, I could just destroy their minds with fancy words and fancy cars and money and trips to Red Lobster. No, that's
Red
not
Lobster.
I'm just throwing something out there because I don't know how predators work now, but as a teenager, I mean, you're unique. Like, not a lot of teenagers have experienced the things you've experienced. So you're not going to trip on someone coming to you and say, hey, baby, I don't know how they talk, but hey,
we don't need to reenact it.
Baby, you look so good to me. Let me take
That's
you
how
to
you know
Red
he's
Lobster.
born in the 70s.
I was born in the 60s, actually.
Yeah, close enough.
But so they don't say that anymore. Hey, baby. What's a pickup line? Like, has any boy tried a pickup line?
No, they're cringy on purpose, like as a joke.
Oh, so that's it. They use humor.
Yeah.
So that's a technique. They're using
There's
humor.
no pickup lines anymore. It's just.
Oh, we'll see. Well, anyway, yeah, a predator, shared danger. Let's see. The next one. If she gets in a car accident.
Maybe that's a subject for when that's not that far from when I get my temps either.
Yeah.
I get my temps in next February.
Yeah. So, and it's not just a car accident where you're driving, but just a car accident in general because your friends are older. So your friends may be driving before
They are
you.
driving now.
And then they pick you up. Sydney, let's go to the mall. I don't know where you go.
Mom doesn't let me drive with kids. She says she doesn't like kids in cars.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because there's a fear of that. There's a fear that you guys are easily distracted because you always want to stay connected to your phones. And so, distracted driving is a bad thing. So going out, yeah, I would have a fear of you being in a car accident.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah, that's a good one. Let's see what else they have on this list. Getting badly injured.
I've had plenty of dance and cheer injuries across the years, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think those are like bad, but at the same time, yeah, of course.
Yeah, so those are just injuries, but like a bad injury. Like you've never worn a cast.
No.
Or, been wheelchair bound or had to receive. You didn't even have crutches, let alone have to receive like
they offered me.
major rehab.
Right.
That's badly injured, and as a father, I have to see you do that. Oh man, that would be rough. Yeah, I'd be crushed.
Yeah, me too.
But I don't know if out of the top fears, they haven't hit the top fears of mine yet.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah, these are pretty good, but
the
not
Predator
the top
one was pretty top.
Yeah. Being oppressed by someone.
We were just talking about this.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, what were you talking about? What were you saying?
In school, we were talking. Oh, we were just talking about like how you have to like learn to stick up for yourself because like when that stuff like that happens, your parents aren't even gonna always be around when that happens. And you don't know how far it can escalate now in these times.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And that's a fear for me because I know that, you haven't been exposed to a lot of that, oppression.
Right. And
so, it's really, oppression is really about being in situations where you're outnumbered and, and there's this mob mentality and strength in numbers. And, to oppress someone is pretty bad.
Right.
So, Do I fear that for you?
Maybe.
I fear
Not
that I
really.
fear that you could be in situations that it could occur, but no, not one of my
Not top.
not one of my top fears. Growing up in general, that's actually it's funny as it may sound, that is a fear of mine. Right? Like, I mean, there's pictures all over the house of when you were
Yeah,
just
you had a whole meltdown
small.
when I turned 13.
Yeah, I know. Like a real one. Like, oh my goodness. Like, this is my little girl. I
A
held
whole
you.
2 years ago, you're still not getting over the fact that I'm a teenager.
I hold you in my hand, one hand at one point, and just.
Yeah, try it now.
Well, no. I'd be badly injured if I if I tried that. But no, just growing up, knowing what the world is like, and it's like, well, I want you to be a strong black woman,
Independent.
independent. So to be that, you have to be exposed to certain situations, but at the same time, I don't know if I look forward to you experiencing those things. And a fear that's more of a fear than some of the other things that we've named, just growing up in general. But that's a fear of mine. That's a fear of mine. That's a good one. Here's another good one, actually. Eating disorders. That's a fear of mine. Because of just the body image
Yeah.
and everything that goes with being a teenage girl.
And this time.
And this time even more because
social media and all that.
social media.
It's such a lie.
Oh man. I mean, what do you think about that? The image that they portray of
I really don't. Now that I'm just like older, I don't really care that much because I know now like what you could do to make it look like what everybody else wants to see.
mm-hmm.
I think people are like starting to finally like grow up and be like, look for like people who are more like natural because not everybody wants all that anymore since they know it's like fake, it's not real.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really struggle that much with it.
Now, do you experience a lot of people that do
Yes.
like weight shame?
Yeah.
And how does that make you feel, or what do you do in those situations?
I don't really do anything, and it's kind of sad, but I just don't. But it just bothers me that people are like that, because obviously they're insecure. Obviously they're struggling if they have to go and point out somebody else or something. They're struggling with something.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't just do that if you're in like a right state of mind. You just don't.
Right. And so when you witness that, and like you said, you don't necessarily do anything, but it does make you feel bad. What does the other person do? Like,
Probably they just get really upset. Obviously, I would get upset too if somebody was shaming me because of how I looked.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's one of my friends, I'll do something. Not just like a person I see like online or something like that.
Yeah. So it's tough. Like I said, like you said, social media, all the exposure, what you see on TV and magazines and movies, and
it's terrible.
Yeah, everything is just, but like you said, it is moving more toward just kind of the natural look.
Yeah, body positivity hopefully is going somewhere.
Yeah, and it has a lot to do with self-confidence. So, but eating disorders, that's real. Any type of disorder, I definitely fear that for you, that you get into that mind state that, oh my gosh, I have to look this way.
Right.
I have to look this way. And you don't. You're beautiful inside and out.
Dad.
So the next fear, her over self-consciousness.
You don't have to fear that.
You don't think?
No.
I do. It's not a major fear, but sometimes I think you can really get so into yourself that you just kind of point out all of the flaws, and you just sort of
sometimes
looking at just the negative, and it just sort of dominates your well-being. I think that's something that I haven't seen you do a lot. I've seen you do more now that you're getting into your teen years, that you're very conscious of what's going on around you, how you look.
True.
You know, and sometimes that can cause you to, you know, have anxiety.
Anxiety attacks.
Right. Yeah. And so, I fear that. I mean, you've talked a couple times about your anxiety on your podcast, and I deal with anxiety.
Yeah.
So I'm always like, okay, what's that trigger for Sydney? You know, is it the pressure from school? Is it, you know, the pressure of life? Is it her self-consciousness? Is it, oh my goodness, I'm so focused on this flaw that I see,
Right.
that now my anxiety is kicked in. And now I can't even function. I can't even get out of this bed because of this.
Right.
That's a fear. You know, that's that self-consciousness. And do you feel yourself doing that from time to time?
Time to time.
Mm-hmm.
Not frequently.
Yeah. And so when that happens, like, how do you snap out of it?
I don't.
Really? You just kind of
Yeah.
let it play its course? Wow. Yeah. And like I said, I'm noticing it more and more now, and and I just kind of keep praying that that doesn't cause you to be more anxious and just kind of allow your life to kind of spiral down from that, because you're looking at it more than everyone else is, right? But that's what self-consciousness is.
Yeah, you can't really tell that.
Yeah, it's yourself. Bullies at school.
Oh my good grace. No.
You don't have a fear of that?
That's sort of like a 4th and 5th grade thing.
Well, no, that's a high school
No,
thing.
for me.
For you it is,
Because
but
I am not the same as what I was in like 8th, 7th, 6th.
yeah, but there are more bullies as you get older. Like these teen years, high school years, that's where the bullies really.
Okay.
And you don't know how to fight.
So they're talking, not fighting.
The bullies are talking?
Yes, that's all people at Sheffield do.
Oh, wow.
They don't really fight unless somebody asks them to.
Mm-hmm.
They don't usually just break out.
Okay. But there's other forms of bullying. What about cyberbullying?
Yeah. Yes, but I don't understand how people let that trail on for so long.
You don't know?
Like I don't know how that could trail on for that long. Like, I think I know. You don't have to feel that for me, because I know how to, like, handle it. That's the thing.
How do you handle it?
You just don't. You block them.
Mm-hmm.
You unadd them. You ignore them. If they just keep doing it, then why not get your friends to, like, jump them or something?
Oh, no. Now you're the bully.
I'm not the
No,
bully.
you're getting your friends to
They
jump
get
someone.
what they deserve.
Oh, my goodness.
You shouldn't have been bullying in the first place.
But
A 5th grader would not know how to do that.
I'm not talking about a 5th grader. I'm talking about Sydney.
I know. I'm saying that I'm not like a 4th and 5th grader anymore, so I know what to do with myself.
Okay. So cyberbullying, you think you can handle that, but you never get in a situation where, people might cross the line, and then although you might block them or you're still wondering, well, are they still doing that?
To other people?
No, just to you, but you don't know because you've blocked them, but they could still be out there.
Talking behind our back?
Yeah.
There's not really a way to deal with people talking behind the back, because no matter how many times you tell them, they're always going to end up talking about you again.
Mm-hmm.
Like.
Have you ever been bullied?
Not, maybe in like kindergarten or like.
Kindergarten bullying?
Yeah.
Like, how do you get bullied in kindergarten?
You already know the situation I'm talking about.
No, I don't. Tell me. I really don't.
Like on the 3rd day of school, how we were doing the art project, and the girl said my picture didn't look good because I was black.
Oh, my.
In kindergarten. You know where you have to grow up in order for her to say that in kindergarten?
Yeah, that's tough. I wonder what she's doing now. Oh, my goodness. If she had those views then in kindergarten.
Imagine her now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Wow. That's deep. All right.
She's going to laugh about it after.
That is funny.
No, it's...
That's very funny to me.
My duck doesn't look good because I'm black. Oh, no.
Oh, my. That's some advanced bullying. That's bullying at a high level.
Yeah, it's something.
In kindergarten. Let's see. A fear that you will be living in poverty.
I think that one's a little bit too much dip on shit.
Really?
Yes.
You don't have a fear of that.
Well, obviously, you're gonna have that fear.
I
That's an obvious.
definitely have a fear.
Of course, the way
of
you're working.
You living in poverty would be, oh man, I don't know how I would. Man, that would be tough.
Especially in the system you're working in, Dan.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And it's like the things we're putting in place, with our family and just, with finances and your businesses and all this revenue, and then you living in poverty. Oh my goodness, that would be, because, with poverty, there's so many other things that you'd be dealing with at the same time. That's rough, because even though you may have money or, be skilled and do all this stuff, you might fall in love with someone and that person takes you down a path that now you guys are living in poverty. Like convincing you to invest in the next big thing, and then the next big thing, and the next big thing, and the next thing you're living in. Oh man, that's a tough one.
Yeah, it is.
That's tough. But that's projecting outside of you being a teen, though. Like right now, as a teenager, I don't fear you living in poverty, because you're not living in poverty.
Right.
But just after all of the things that, oh man, that would be rough. That's a good one. That's a good one. We got 2 left. This is a good one right here. Bad boys.
I knew boys was gonna be a subject.
Bad boys, though. Bad boys. That's
whatever
definitely
you consider bad.
No, that's a definitely fear. That because it's not what I consider bad. It's, can you discern a good boy from a bad
whatever
boy?
I get is gonna be bad to you.
No,
man.
that's not true.
It's gonna be like a Jesus boy, and he's gonna be fine.
No, that's not
what
true. That is not
fine.
true. I feel like I will be able to discern if the young man is good or bad. I just don't know if you.
This is my fear in that. This is what I'm piggybacking off to that idea.
Okay.
I'm scared that if I get somebody and I really like them, and you're gonna scare them away.
Yeah, I'm gonna scare them. I mean, I'm gonna scare them
away.
Well, that's on them if they stay away.
No, that is not how you look at it.
Okay, think about it.
You're not a woman. You don't understand.
No. Think about it this way. A haunted house intention is to scare you. It's your choice if you want to go in there, stay in there, or just stay away. But it's a scary house. So yeah, every boy.
Scary.
No, I'm not saying. Well, this black man is. So any boy that you call yourself liking, or they're liking
call
you,
myself,
or they are liking you. Yeah, that when they come in here, yes, I am going to scare them. Now, scare them away. That's
probably
their choice.
They already don't. Half of them are scared of you already.
Well, that's good.
And
that's very good. That's a sign of respect.
No,
that's a sign of respect. They know
they could be scared and not respect you.
That's okay. I'm not looking for their respect.
Anyway.
I'm not looking for their respect. Actually, that fear, I like that.
Anyway,
tell them to keep it up. That's good. Everything that they fear is real. So to all the boys out there, your fear is real. Your fear is real. You don't like that?
Shaking my head.
Well, you are shaking your head, but seriously, bad boys though. Yeah, because like you said, you never had your heart broken. So
okay,
it's like your first time. You don't know who that person is, what they're about, blah blah blah. And Sydney, you're a catch, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not that boys aren't already looking.
You're just weird.
I mean, they're not. Oh, look at that. Oh, okay.
Next.
Look at that girl.
Next
right
subject.
Look at that girl. Oh, look at those shoes. that's the girl from the podcast. Oh man,
No
that's the
boy
girl-
listen to my
that's
podcast
the-
and like, oh man, that's attractive.
that-
like, no,
that's
it's
the
a
girl that
podcast.
could play the piano. That's the girl with the Go Fresh brand. You know, you got all this stuff going on, and so you don't know who's who in the world. That's where I come in, and I say, "You're a bad boy."
That is literally the.
Okay, and the last one of the potential fears is of seeing her fail. That's a tough one.
That's a weird word.
That's number one for me. That is number one. That's my biggest fear. That's my fear. And you know why that's my fear?
Because you did not raise a failure.
No. And it's and it's kind of based on what you just said and that type of attitude. I think that I won't even say we, I'll say me. I think that I've sort of put in place in your mind, this is in your mind, that you feel like you cannot fail. And so like the pressure of not being able to fail.
I'm gonna feel like that.
Right, that's what I'm saying. The pressure that you could put on yourself when you feel like you can't fail, when you do fail, because we all do, I don't know if you'll be able to handle it. Like you knowing, my dad just watched me fail. Oh my God, you know. And so that's a fear of mine, because it's like, I want you to, you know, exceed and be excellent and do all these great things, but you are human. You're going to make mistakes. You are going to fail. But you've experienced so much success in your life that right now failure hasn't been something that you've been able to embrace.
Right.
And so it's like, okay, because you have, I mean, think about it, Sydney. Everything you've done so far, like, okay, I'm playing piano and I get the top scores every time I perform.
And I hate it.
And you don't even like it. I don't even practice the way you should practice top scores. Okay. Marching band. In middle school, that's what I'm saying. 8th grade, you're varsity. You already know that. Dance, you know, you have not failed yet. And that pressure, you know, I know it's coming, right? I know it's coming. Everybody fails, baby. See, look,
you know the heartbreak's coming. You know the failure's coming.
Heartbreak's coming. Failure's coming.
What if the heartbreak is the failure?
Ooh. What if, here's a bigger one. What if you fail to accept the heartbreak?
Okay.
What does that mean? And now that's a whole different thing with anxiety and suicidal tendencies and
always connect.
All that stuff. And it's like, that's a fear of mine. Like, I don't want you to fail. It's not that I'm saying, Sydney, go fail at something. But I am saying, man, at some point in your life, you have to learn that it's okay. Like, you know, don't look at an F as failure. Look at it as feedback. Like, what can I learn from that experience? And you haven't had a chance to do that because sometimes, you know, instead of getting to the point where it's time for that failure, you'll just move on to something else. Okay, it's time to move on. You know, like even with the Go Fresh brands, you know, with the coronavirus hitting and stuff like that, we never had a chance to fail in that business because you already pivoted to podcasting. And now, you know, over 400 downloads later, and it's just like, what?
Never expected that.
And it's going to be closer to 500, you know, once after a couple episodes. So, you know, as a dad, I don't look forward to that because of all of the success that you had. And how will you handle failure? How will you handle real failure? Right. And, you know, and it's like, again, it's not about failure. It's really about, you know, that learning experience and then moving forward from that.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So what do you think? I mean, you think that's a legitimate fear that I should have?
I think all of them are legitimate.
Yeah. So do you think other dads might be feeling that too? Yeah, I thought that was a pretty good list.
I think it's a good topic.
Yeah,
Thanks,
definitely.
guys, so much for listening. Tune in next week, please, and thanks.